Yes, who is there? Welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome to this channel. I talk on medical issues. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, and everyone is doing ABCD. Today I've been so busy. At times I get so busy. That's why I'm late online. But welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. As I usually say, no late, no never. So everyone who is watching and everyone who is coming out on my channel, how are you doing, my friends? How are you doing, my friend? What is up, man? Jamaican uncle has landed, and everyone who is will land in this channel. How are you doing, my friends? How are you doing today? Where are you watching Benjamin the Wise Guy from? Where are you watching Benjamin the Wise Guy from? Which part of the world are you watching me from? Is it anywhere in the world? America, United States of America, Russia, Soviet Union, and Asian countries, any country that you may be watching from. Big up yourself so much. Today is called Sunday Question, and Sunday Question is that Sunday that we link up and we talk about some questions of things that we have been doing. Questions concerning hypertension. We talked about hypertension and Ebola. Let's talk about questions concerning hypertension, or which one do we start with? Betty, welcome to the channel. Today is a Saturday, and as we do at Saturday, we talk about some questions that we have been doing, like we have listened to some music, Lonely at the top, lonely, 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 na 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 na. Annie. Yes. You who is there watching me, today is a Saturday, and Saturday we talk about some normal issues that that we usually want to find some this one. The normal issues that we've been, maybe someone did not understand something to the topics that we've been learning and wants to ask a question. Today is that day. Yeah. Let's talk about questions. We did hypertension. We did hypertension. We did Ebola. So which one do we start with? Do we start with Ebola? Do we start with hypertension? Questions concerning hypertension and Ebola. Let's talk about 20 minutes. Queen is here. Let's talk about Ebola. Some things that are confusing people about Ebola. Queen, welcome to the channel. Today we are revisiting of some things that we did. Revisiting of some things that we did through the week. So let's revisit some things that we did through the week. Let's see what this Dorothy is here. Dorothy, welcome to the channel. We want to revisit some things that we did to us this week. The questions, the myths. Some people, you may do a topic, but they have not understood something, so they keep that thing to ask it some other day. So today we are revisiting Ebola and hypertension. What did you learn about hypertension? What did you think you need to ask about hypertension? What did you learn about Ebola? What are the myths out there about Ebola? It is revisiting so welcome, my friends. Let's talk about things that we need to know. Things that we need to know about this topics that we did last week. Let's talk about them. What do we need to know about them? Now, there are some questions that have been running around, and there are some funny questions because some people may say that Ebola is transmitted through airborne. Ebola is not vector disease. Ebola is not a vector disease. That is one question that we need to understand. Ebola is not, today is not Feel Good Friday. Please keep off the music until time comes. Ebola is not an airborne disease. You know, some people confuse Ebola with COVID because COVID came and it becomes a pandemic. So whenever you talk about a pandemic, people start thinking of COVID, and whenever another pandemic comes, they associate it with COVID. So Ebola is not transmitted through airborne. If you sneeze and the person is near you and there is no contact of droplets or anything, you cannot get Ebola. So Ebola is spread through air. No, that is not. It is never spread through air. It is not spread through air. And I want you to tell me, my friends, welcome Dorothy, Jamaican Uncle, Quincy, NLB, and everyone, Betty, who is in the house, everyone who is coming in right now. Please, let's talk about these questions that we come across out there. I thought airborne was airborne. Ebola was airborne. You see, another question has risen. No, Ebola is not airborne. It is transmitted through fluids, body fluids, body fluids. So if you sneeze and your mucus and your saliva goes to someone else, and that someone else, Ayeska, welcome. You can't spread gossip about teenagers like this. Ayeska, what are you saying? So it is not spread through. It is not spread through. It is direct contact. You can get Ebola through kissing, having sex, blood contact. Blood contact. If you touch someone's blood that has Ebola, you see. If you eat food that is contaminated, if you touch surfaces that are contaminated and you touch you eat with the same fingers, you'll get Ebola. So Ebola is not airborne disease. It is spread through direct contact with infected body fluids. So something else that is fun. People say maybe mosquitoes can spread Ebola. There is no evidence that mosquitoes spread Ebola. Let's see. People confuse how mosquitoes spread malaria. Even sometimes when mosquito bites people, they don't get malaria. If the forgiveness is underrated. Hello, Dr. Benja. Hope you are having a nice day. What is you shake hands? Yes, I'm having a nice day. Forgiveness is underrated. I'm answering questions about Ebola and hypertension. What if you shake hands? Yes, if someone has Ebola and you shake hands, and then you go and eat with the same hand without washing, and the virus is in the hand, what will you do? You'll get Ebola. So that is why people wear PEPs, protective wears, when they are handling them. If you shake hands and you eat with the same, or you put your hands in those people that like eating their nails, while you've shaken several hands and you've shaken someone who has Ebola, and this person was sweating. So the topic is about a biological developed virus in France. Oi, who said Ebola is a biological developed virus in France? It is not. That is a zoonotic disease, and it is a tropical disease, and it was found in Western Africa. Yes, Western Africa. So in primates are affected, but other animals are not affected. It's a matter that it is under research why primates are affected and other animals ain't affected. You see, that is why you can get Ebola from casual contact. Casual contact, you cannot get Ebola. So if you have any question concerning all this, when something comes, people have a lot of a lot of things they will talk about, but let the facts remain facts. However, hand washing is key. Yes, hand washing is key in any sanitation guidelines. In any guidelines, hand washing is key, because if you go to a place that is very dirty and you want to eat and you've been shaking hands, you can even get E. coli, you can get cholera, you can get several things. So hand washing and having sanitizers at your place is very important. Yes, you see, it is very important. Thanks, Queen, for letting people know that. Ebola affects only Africans. Someone told me, no, Ebola is a tropical disease, so it affects Africans. Ebola affects everyone, because the mechanism of how you operate, how your body is all of you is the same. Many people survive with early medical care and supportive treatment. Ebola can infect people of any race and nationalities. So there is something else I want you to get. This is important. We have started with Ebola. So welcome. If you are new to the channel, I hope you are listening, and you can subscribe and like the channel. There is something else I want to tell people. Not every person that gets Ebola dies. You see, not every person that gets Ebola dies. Why? It is because of very important thing. It is very important that you know, not every person that gets Ebola does what? Dies. Why? Because the immunity varies. Immunity does what? Varies. So here we will say that many people survive early medical care and supportive treatment of Ebola. If you are you run to a hospital at early stages, the first stages, you survive. It is an hemorrhagic disease, and before you get to hemorrhagic stage where you are bleeding, you will survive. So not everyone that gets Ebola dies. There are so many people that are surviving Ebola. So it is rather sad, but it's brought by this so-called human association like UNICEF spreading biological chemicals in the water and products like clothes, hens, and they are the ones named it Ebola. Yeah, biobag. Oh, okay, that one I'm getting from you. Forgiveness is underrated. I'm getting it from you. Forgiveness is underrated is saying, brother, sad, but it's because brought by these so-called human associations like UNICEF spreading biological chemicals. That one I'm knowing from you, but as a doctor, I've not seen that research, but if it is there, well and good, but on my side, that one I don't know. I went to shopping plaza in Rwanda, and everyone has to wash hands before you enter, and it was monitored by security hands. I wish every store will be like that, Jamaican uncle. I wish every store will be forcing people to wash hands before you get into any store. And sometimes even, I wish they will be having enough resources to give gumboots or protective wears of running around the stores. Taking care of people, very important. Thanks, Jamaican uncle. For forgiveness is underrated. If there is any research which says that, when it comes, I will tell people. But for now, I don't know about that. Traditional herbs can cure Ebola. There is someone who said that one time. Some people that get Ebola, they're just getting traditional herbs. No herbal remedy has been proven to cure Ebola. So if someone gets any flu where you are, if you notice someone is having flu, high fevers, and is bleeding, nose bleeding, and bleeding from the gums, and the eyes are red, notify the public health organization of your area or any hospital around your area. Don't say that herbal remedies always work on me. Ebola is a hemorrhagic fever. You will go to the next stage, and this person may infect very many people while you are waiting. So those are the key factors, and all of these are myths about Ebola. All of these are myths. So in West Africa, people believed that it is caused by witchcraft. Witchcraft, you see, it is caused by witchcraft. It is very bad to say it is caused by witchcraft. The fact remains, Ebola is a virus. If you do microscopy and you see the everything, the characteristics about how it is, the characters chemically, the characters microbiologically, you will see that this is a viral disease. You see, drinking salt water will prevent Ebola. That is false. I'm giving the myths that people have been asking me. That is the myths about Ebola. So if you have any question, my friends, and you're here, please ask the question that you have. This is very important. It's very important to be talking about facts and not fiction and not myths. We don't talk about myths. Any medical fact is a medical fact. Thank you, doctor. I have used wisdom. Welcome, Dorothy, for that. Welcome, Dorothy. Let's talk about facts. Every fever during an outbreak is Ebola. No. If you come to Africa, if you come to Africa and you get fever, don't be shy, don't be worried. You may be getting malaria, which is treatable. You may get a fever because of pneumonia, which is treatable. And whatever that you are not getting is not Ebola. Characteristics of Ebola, most of them are called hemorrhagic disease. It is called a hemorrhagic disease. High fevers, coughs, and bleeding from your gums and nose. And that's why it is called hemorrhagic fever. So don't be scared when you visit a place where it is there and then you get fever and you say, wow, this is Ebola, So don't be scared about it. Many diseases such as malaria, individuals do not transmit Ebola. You get every fever during an outbreak is Ebola. It is not. So survivors always remain infectious. If you get most of the RNA viruses, people live. Okay, let me read what Forgiveness is Underrated has got some points, but I'm answering them accordingly. So if you bring your point, I'll answer it accordingly. Let me read what Forgiveness is Underrated is saying. People lived in the early earth millions of years. No malaria, no Ebola was there until they came. Brother, they want to decrease us to satisfy their golden billion via biological weapon. As I've said again, let me read about Forgiveness is Underrated, what he has typed. People lived in the earth millions of years, no malaria, no Ebola. No Ebola was there just until they came, brother. They want to decrease and satisfy their golden billion via biological weapon. That is not according to me. And as I said, if there is any research that says these diseases outbreaks are produced in the laboratory, we will concur. But as a doctor, I have not come across any material like that. So let's remain with what we know. Yes, let's remain with medical facts that we know. So, the other thing, I'm sorry, doctor, I know it's off topic, but I had to say it. Yes, Forgiveness is Underrated. That's why I'm reading them. I want everyone to write, whatever you feel, you write it. So that even as per research, we can know what people are thinking. So, Forgiveness is Underrated. Don't worry giving me those points. You write. Right on, don't worry. This, I always say, my platform is where you openly speak whatever you feel. And that's why you've never seen me chasing anyone. Even my moderators, they have never blocked anyone from speaking out. So speak out. Forgiveness is Underrated. So let's continue about facts. The facts about malaria that medically, as a doc, I know. Yes, Forgiveness is Underrated. Thanks. Now, let's continue. Survivors always remain infectious. There is something that says those that survive Ebola will always infect people. No. Let me tell you now. If you have a viral flu, the only thing, the DNA viruses, if you notice when we were talking about viruses, Ebola is an RNA virus. This one, other one, the COVID is an RNA virus, and others like HIV and hepatitis, those ones are DNA viruses. And I said, RNA viruses are very fatal. But the problem with DNA viruses, they continue hiding in your body for so long. So, when RNA virus gets away from your body, you cannot infect someone else. It is gone. But most of the DNA viruses, they are retained in your body, like HIV virus. So, if Ebola is gone, you are healed. Never infect anyone else because the body has taken care of it. The white blood cells, which are the basophil, natural killer cells, the T cells, the B cells, the lymphocytes, have taken care of it. You are protected. So there is nothing like Ebola can be transmitted again when you are healed, right? Now, just as forgiveness is underrated is typing, there is another thing here. Ebola is government-created disease. That one is natural, as per what I know now. As per the journals that I read and the research that we do, I know Ebola is a natural occurring viral disease. So, if there is any journal that will come about this being created in a laboratory somewhere else, that one is not my. It is, I'm not the one who has the mandate to say it, but we have protocol in medical field, the WHOs, the FDA, that will speak, the medical boards. Then we embrace, yes? So let's continue. Ebola can be diagnosed just by looking at someone. Who said so? Someone can be having an hemorrhagic disease, and this person maybe has a condition called DIC. Disseminated intravascular coagulopathy, where a person just bleeds non-stop and fevers are high. So it might not be Ebola. You have to be tested, quarantined, and to be certified that this person is not undergoing Ebola. And never say that Ebola survivors should be avoided forever. There are people, when they are healed, they are okay. And when they are okay, we feel nice. When they are okay, we feel nice. You see, when they are okay, we feel nice. So my good friends that are watching, these are the facts that we talk about. These are the facts. And I want to appreciate, even forgiveness is underrated, for his attributes about these things, because when you have attributes concerning some things and you are speaking them out loudly, they are the foundations of research. Foundations of research are made through laboratory tests, radiological tests, and social life by questionnaires and listening to the people. So if you are watching me, please don't feel bad about texting your idea. Text. You just say whatever you want and we will appreciate and embrace it. You check me out. That is what I'm saying. Someone said, hospitals always spread Ebola. A hospital is a highly sensitive area whereby sanitation and separation of important diseases and quarantine areas are prepared. More so when we live in an era of these diseases that are called viral diseases that are bringing pandemics, even cholera, bacterial. So you don't say that I can't go to hospital, there is Ebola. The medical practitioners are prepared to keep you at par, to make you not to contact any other disease. You see? So, there is someone who said that, or are we getting together? If you have a question and you are listening to me, just ask that question, my friend. Just ask that question and I will answer them accordingly. I'll answer them accordingly. If you want to understand something, just bring it down. Let me make you understand about these facts. And there is a confusion out there, a very funny confusion. Who knows that confusion about Ebola and certain disease? You know, these questions that I'm going through, I clearly chose them because they are bringing confusions out there. So these are very important questions, my people. And we are meant to make people know that these things that we are talking about, they are factual and they are not fiction, or they are not myths. So let me say, because many people don't know it, the confusion that is out there about Ebola is Ebola and cholera are the same things. The way these things work, the way Ebola works, and I went through the pathophysiology, how Ebola goes to the person, gets to the cell of the person inside, and when it goes to the cell, it replicates another viral cell and continuously goes like that. And your body itself is the one which produces cytokines that make you start to bleed. But cholera is a bacteria. A bacteria that makes people diarrhea. And there is nowhere that you've had that bacteria called cholera is hemorrhagic. It is making people bleed. No. Some people, I have so many people in the chat, around 20-25 people, that were telling me, Doc, you know, Ebola and cholera are the same. It is just the confusion that these people are bringing to get funds. No, they are different. Ebola is a virus and cholera is a bacteria. So let's talk about Ebola. Outbreaks can never be controlled. They are. If COVID was controlled, this one is controlled, and you've seen so many things, like the one isolation center that is being brought at the Kenyan capital, that it's bringing controversy. Even in Congo, people are living there and everyone is safe because the governments there are trying to contain it, and some people there don't have Ebola. Even some people in Congo, there is a place people don't know even something like Ebola exists because they don't have media. They just live. So they don't get to know how Ebola is, Key facts about Ebola. Let's talk about the key facts about Ebola. The facts now about Ebola. Ebola is caused by virus of genus Ebola. It is spread through blood contact, vomiting, diarrhea, semen, breast milk, and other body fluids of an infected person. That is factual. Early symptoms of Ebola: fever, fatigue, muscle pain, and sore throat. Vaccines and improved treatment are now available and have helped people reduce deaths during outbreaks. Now, those are the facts that we are talking about when it comes to Ebola. Those are the facts that we are talking about when it comes to Ebola. There is another thing that is very important that we need to talk about, which is hypertension. But if you are watching now, tell me if you understand that or if you have a question. Anyone who has a question, my friends? Anyone with a question? Anyone who has a question about it? I want to go to hypertension. I want to go to hypertensive disease. I want to go to hypertensive disease. Anyone with a question? Anyone with a question about facts on Ebola? If you have it, Yes, we are continuing on well. We are continuing on well. Can we go to hypertension now? Can we move to hypertension? About myths and facts about hypertension? Because there are some things, there are some questions that I've received on my platform, and the way they are asked, you just feel that no, this one, it just feels like a myth and not a fact. You know, there is a way you can ask a question, and that question comes in as a myth and not a fact. That question just come out as a myth. So let's talk about hypertension. I have separated this. I have separated this because I've noticed that many people are not understanding the real facts that are supposed to be understood, you know. But it's not their problem, because if you are not a medical practitioner, you may not understand some specific facts about what you need to understand. You may not understand specific things that you need to understand. So let's talk about hypertension. Yes, there is something that we talk about, and it is called hypertension. Hypertension is called a silent killer. Hypertension is called a silent killer. Why is hypertension called a silent killer? Have you ever asked yourself that? And it is something that is always out there. Some people go to the hospital a minute. I asked so you may find some people they just fall down, and when they go to a hospital, you get these people have stroke. Someone is asking me a very specific question. You see, this person just goes to a hospital and they say that this person has stroke. It's because not all of the hypertensive diseases, people have symptoms. Not all of the hypertensive diseases, people have symptoms. Sometimes you may not have any symptom. You may just have high BP that you've never noticed, and you fall down and you get stroke. Many people do not present with symptoms at hypertensive diseases. It feels fine. My blood pressure is normal. This is some things that people say, no need to check my blood pressure, no need. No need to check my blood pressure. I'm completely fine. I'm completely fine. And you have taken someone to a hospital. When the doctors insist on taking the blood pressure, you are the one who is told now, you are not going home. You stay about because your blood pressures are so high. So never say, I'm feeling okay, your blood pressures are not, because you may be feeling okay and your pressures are so high. Young people nowadays eat a lot of junk food, they eat a lot of things that are not good, and they say they cannot get high blood pressure. You've heard of some young people saying that hypertension is a disease of the older generation. Hypertension is a disease of the older generation. That is a myth, my friend. We've seen even 15 years old getting heart diseases and they get hypertension. So if you feel it, when you get to a hospital, even if you have taken somewhere, get your general checkups. Normal checkups like BP, sugar levels are normal and they are good. You may get that you have something earlier and then you start treating it. Stress is the only cause of hypertension. Who said stress is the only cause of hypertension? I've explained about end organ damages like the kidneys, the liver. I've explained several things about several issues that people undergo. And there's so much damage. End organ damages, pancreas, the brain itself, the heart. So stress is not the only thing that causes hypertension. People get hypertension because they are genetically connected to it. Diet, obesity, kidney diseases, and lifestyle factor also is a major role. Lifestyle factors. High blood pressure is not serious. Who said it? It is very serious and it can make you go to the grave early. It increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and heart failure. And someone says that if you have high blood pressure, you should avoid every physical activity. It is important to do physical activity. It increases the risk of regular exercise, helps lower blood pressure, and improves heart health. Regular exercise. You remember when I talked about atherosclerosis and fat plaques and burning them and heart muscles when they are exercising? You get. Medication is only needed when blood pressure is high. Some people need medication even with moderate, elevated high blood pressure to avoid complications. Once blood pressure is controlled, medications can be stopped. Who said? It depends with the doctor and how your doctor is following up on you. So never say that once it is controlled, you will not use the drugs. You see, it is very important to check on your right medications, the medications that you really need to use. Follow up in the clinics. Go to the clinics where you are supposed to be followed up. Let the doctor decide which drugs to stop, which drugs to continue. Herbal medicine can cure hypertension. No. Some herbal medicine interact with the normal medicines that we use in the hospital, and they reduce the potency of the drugs to help you. So don't substitute conventional medicine, the medicine that we have in the hospital, and the medicine that you get as herbal medicine. There will never be association between them in this world of hypertension. Someone said that hypertension runs in families and nothing can be done. Nothing. Oh, okay, Jamaican uncle. Today I'm just running through facts and facts about hypertension and things that can be done when it comes to hypertension. So let's learn these things. Let's be aware of several things about hypertension. I've seen people saying, nowadays I don't use drugs, I use garlic and it can cure hypertension. Garlic have small effects, but it cannot replace treatment. It just boosts your immunity and relieves your tension in the veins, in your veins and arteries. So you cannot substitute the drug that you've been given by your doctor by using the natural remedies and garlics that you use at home. High blood pressure and nervousness are same thing. Someone may be suffering from something that we call anxiety disorders and not hypertension. So they are never the same thing. So complications of hypertension are not complications of mental health disorders. So let's not confuse complications of hypertension with complications of mental health disorders. Garlic alone can cure hypertension. Sometimes people text me very funny things, but it's not funny because their understanding is not understanding of a trained professional. So we have to explain so that people can understand. Drinking alcohol lowers blood pressure. Hey, excessive alcohol is fatal. Someone told me when I drink alcohol, my pressures go down. When you take a lot of alcohol, your blood pressure will go up because of the metabolism process. And I want you to know that hypertension does not affect the heart alone. Never. It is a cascade of events. A cascade of events that damage the brain, damage the kidney, eyes, and blood vessels throughout the body. See that? If blood pressure is high once, you have hypertension. There are some people who think when the blood pressure is once high, someone has hypertension. No. Diagnosis usually requires repeated elevation of hypertensive disease, several repeated elevations, so that we can know now, you have a problem and this is your problem. It is important to note that see a doctor whenever your blood pressures are high, and your doctor will give you clinical times of going to see him or her. Salt added at the table is main source of sodium. Because people say that now when you add salt, it is the main source of sodium. Many processed foods contain large amount of hidden sodium. You don't get salt alone from the table salt, the one we add on food. Salt is added in several ingredients, and sodium is got from several foods that we eat. You may not be taking table salt. The fact remains that you are taking it through food, the sodium itself. You are taking it through some foods. Hypertension cannot be prevented. That is a myth. And you can prevent it by adding lots of salt in your food. Okay. Weight, exercising, reducing salt intake, avoiding tobacco, and limiting alcohol can help prevent it. This is facts about hypertension. Facts about hypertension. So, the main facts about hypertension that we know are normal blood pressure is generally 120/80 below. Hypertension often has no warning signs. Regular blood pressure checks are important, very important. Treatment may include lifestyle changes, medications, or both. Controlling blood pressure greatly reduces the risk of stroke, heart attack, and kidney disease and visual problems. Very important. So hypertension is not witchcraft. Hypertension, only when people can get it, no. You can tell hypertensive disease when you look at someone. So those are the main things that I wanted to talk. Unless anyone has a question, let me give like 10 minutes to see what other people have to say about. If anyone comes in and he has a question, I will leave the platform so that anyone, those are the facts about Ebola and hypertension. Most likely you have seen Ebola is really contravening. So those are facts about Ebola and hypertension, and you've seen several. The topics that I've gone through are the topics that everyone and always you have had people talking about it. You have had people talking about these things. There are things that they are confusing and they are making people feel that getting misled. So as I'm talking, I'm kind of like I'm giving some people some time so that they can get some time. But today we are not topic. We are just talking about factual processes and talks that we have concerning So that is it. Anyone who has a question concerning these two things, anyone who has a question concerning Ebola or hypertension, you can ask. Anyone who has a question concerning the two. But if you are a new person to this channel, the topic is done. Someone can rewatch. If you have any question, anything that is not public, you can always email me or text me on the number that people have, or you can ask if you think it's not a big deal. Just ask on the platform, and yes, so my friends who are here, and anyone who is here watching, and you feel you have a question and it's not a public question, you can always ask that question on. Someone is calling. The Silver. So yes, so that is today we didn't have so many things to talk about. It's just talking about the questions that we had, and as you have said, you have seen those are the things that are affecting people, and have a nice day. We meet after 2 hours, 3 hours to discuss several important issues. Bye bye.